I find it absolutely ridiculous that I have to make this video at all, but we have reached that point in the year again where people find a way to hate on Chris Smoove and put his name in their mouths. And I just want to say this before we react to all these tweets and everything. Do you know how much hate you gotta have in your heart, or how I don't know. I don't even know what the rationale is. But for the fact that Chris Smoove don't talk about nobody. He don't say nothing about nobody. He don't be in no drama. He don't do nothing. He don't talk. He upload his videos and mind his business. Literally don't nobody hear from this man. The most you hearing is he uploaded a new video. So for people to constantly put their names in his mouth like this is absolutely absurd. And this is the one time that he decided that he wanted to respond to it because it's absolutely ridiculous. So Legend of Winning said Chris Smoove does not create content better than Jesser or Agent. He is more impactful, but he is not a better content creator. Chris Smoove responds to it saying, my content creation is so good. Every few months, posts like this get made for views for absolutely no reason out of the blue. The Twitter checks don't even pay that much. What are y'all doing? And like he said, every few months, posts like this get made out of the blue. Literally out of nowhere. Like he will mind his business, say nothing, and people will start talking trash about him for absolutely no reason. And I just saw this comment under his post saying all this yapping when he gave you credit for your influence. Laugh my ass off. He didn't say you're not one of the ghosts of basketball YouTube. The guy below him said he didn't. Below is talking out his ass for no reason. Why even bring Smoove into it to try to elevate the standing of Jesser or Agent? So yes, I want to say right now, everything I'm going to say in this video is no shot to Jesser, is no shot to Agent. It is strictly about the disrespect that Chris Smoove is getting. And I'm trying to understand why it literally doesn't make sense. Now, if you want to know how this started, I got the tweets for you right here. It started because Legend of Winning tweeted, damn, it just hit me. Agent is really the greatest 2K content creator ever. And then he said, the only two names I am entertaining are Jesser or Aiden. And then after that, I'm assuming people came to him and mentioned Chris Smoove because obviously, why would you not mention Chris Smoove when you're talking about 2K content? And he said, the original tweet that we saw, right? Now, here's what I'll say. This will tell you enough that you need to know about Chris Smoove. Chris Smoove is so important and so big, right, that if you bring his name up for engagement, if you talk, and you spread hate, you're going to get views. And that's why I'm starting to think that people come out the woodworks to hate on him because they know it's going to get them attention. Look at his initial post. He had 226,000 views talking about Agent, and then he had 63,000 talking about Jesser or Aiden. He mentioned Chris Smoove one time, and now he has 8.7 million views on the tweet. I feel like they're doing it because hate is just going to get you attention. And that's what he knows, and that's what he wants. He just wants the attention, so he's going to hate on him. And it makes no sense because, like I said, Chris Smoove mind his business. So for anybody, one, that's talking about Chris Smoove is yapping, for responding to somebody that talked about him first, that's ridiculous. How is he yapping? He didn't even say nothing crazy. He said, my content is good, and then people make posts about me out of the blue. Where is the yap? So he can't defend himself when somebody mentions him first. He said nothing about Low. He said nothing about Agent. He said nothing about Jesser. He didn't even say I'm better than them. He just said my content creation is so good. Now, the funny thing about this is the ratio, right? Because Low has 8.5 or 8.7 now million views on his tweet, but he only has 4,000 likes. Chris Smoove has half the views and 54,000 likes. This lets you know his standing in the community, not just 2K community, but just period. But yes, mostly the 2K community knows Chris Smoove. Let's continue. Let's move on, right? Now, this person responded to somebody, right? That posted about Chris Smoove. And as you see below, it says this post is from an account you muted. Because I'm going to respond to what this guy said, but I do not want to give him attention. And yes, I muted him because when I saw what this guy said to hate on Chris Smoove, it got under my skin in a way that I'm just like, yo, there's no way. Like, I just wanted him off my screen. I want him off my screen. And I didn't want to give him any, actual attention. So I'm not going to put the account here. But if you know, you know. If you find this post, you know who it is. But look, I'm gonna address what the guy said. And then we're gonna, read this caption on this tweet, come back to it, and look at the video that he just posted of Chris Smoove content, saying that Chris Smoove content is great. The guy in the post that I muted, he came out and said, Chris Smoove, you were only first. You were the first in the 2K community. That's it. And that doesn't make your content good. Now, him being only first and that doesn't make your content good, right? One, absolutely, he was first, and you got to show respect to that because he paved the way for everybody that that makes content now to continue to make content. I'm talking about the 2K community and everybody that came after that. You get what I'm saying? Two, he said that Chris Smoove content actually isn't good or whatever, something like that, right? Now, good is subjective. This is why this whole dispute, this whole debate makes no sense. Low even said it here that Chris Smoove doesn't create better content, blah, blah, whatever. Good, better is all subjective. It is literally all for the viewer and the viewer's point and what the viewer, you get what I'm saying? What the viewer enjoys. So just because you don't think is good or you don't think is better doesn't mean it's not good. It doesn't mean it's not better in another person's eyes. This is not a race. It's not like you're running and you see who runs faster. You get what I'm saying? It's literally not like we're arm wrestling and see who does it better. We're fighting and see who wins the fight. This is literally just who do you enjoy more. I'm gonna tell you this. Chris Smoove has over 5 million subscribers. I doubt that he got over 5 million people to subscribe to his YouTube channel because they thought his videos were trash, because they thought his videos were anything but good. And if you could fix your mouth to say that he don't make good content and the only reason people even around him is because he was first is absolutely crazy. It's crazy. Now, look, I'm going to also continue, right? He said that he's just first. Chris Smoove was posting back in NBA 2K10. Right here, I have pulled up the NBA 2K17 My Career Series from Chris Smoove, right? And I pulled this up because 2K17 specifically, because I know somebody gonna ask why you're not showing present day. I'm gonna show present day too. But 2K17 specifically had a year where it had some of the biggest creators. It had Soluminati. It had Pretty Boy Fredo. It had Agent Zero. That's the year that I found him that he blew up. You get what I'm saying? So at this point, other people are uploading 2K content. So if Chris Smoove only got views because he was first, why is it that even though he was first and other people now existed posting online gameplay and he's just posting My Career, right? Because he came at him for posting My Career. Why does Chris Smoove have 4 million views on his 2K17 video? 1.9 million views, 1.4 million views, 1.3 million views, 900K views, 1.5 million views. You think people came to watch him because he's garbage? You think people came to watch him because his content isn't good 7 years later when the first thing doesn't matter anymore because other great content creators exist, such as Soluminati, Pretty Boy Fredo, Agent? Are you serious? Now, let's discuss the fact that, this is not present day. Sure, let's look at his NBA 2K25 videos, right? When he started 2K25, I believe this probably is the most viewed 2K25 video he has. 800,000 views. One, you know how many people would love to have 800,000 views? And two, for context, the biggest 2K YouTuber, right, that's out right now, aside from Chris Smoove, that plays online, that I would consider, I think many consider, was Joe Knows. Joe Knows' highest NBA 2K25 video is 776,000 views, compared to Chris Smoove's 806,000 views on the most recent 2K, compared to the best 2K YouTuber that plays online, or like the most popular guy. So that just speaks to where 2K is in its own viewership. But Chris Smoove still sits atop the community in respect, and he will still post the first video or the first game, and people will still come to him. You think we're gonna check on him after 15 years of making 2K content just because he was first, or because we also think he's good? Dude, the whole good thing don't matter. It's subjective. But stop coming at him and trying to say that his content is bad all of a sudden because he was first. It's not about being first. If it was about being first, he wouldn't get 800K on a 2K25 video. Please shut up. Please shut up. And I told you, I'm not showing that guy a tweet, no like. He not getting no attention from me on this video in terms of like actually showing his name. But that whole thing, like, it was just like, it's ridiculous that you even gonna disrespect Chris Smoove like this. Now, the original guy's post, it said at this point, these YouTubers are just tagging in on this hate train for clout because you're not telling me this content. It says was great content. He actually says wasn't great right here. And I'll probably put that screenshot up later. I mean, earlier in the point in the video too, in case people didn't get to this point and they thought he said that it was great content. You can't say it was great content. He meant it wasn't great content. He corrected that, right? He said, look at what Chris Smoove was doing back in the day, bro. I'd rather watch this than NBA content creators any day. All right. So let's watch some of this. I'm not going to watch all of it. This is just Chris Smoove basically creating a complete storyline for the NBA 2K mod career before storylines were in the game.
My journey to the NBA started a long time ago. When I was a kid, it didn't matter if it was snowing or raining outside. We were there, we were practicing. In my backyard, on a hoop that was nailed to a tree. No pavement to bounce the ball on, just grass. That was me, practicing for this very moment, to be in New York, to show off my skills. I'm much bigger now, 6'1", 185 pounds. I'm a three-point specialist. I like to make it splash. Look at those starting attributes. I'm not going.
So I'm going to just stop it right there. But as you can see, Chris Smoove used to tell stories in my career before they added stories in my career. And some people think that might have helped them decide that they wanted to add actual outside portions to the game. He would take things from other games, like I think this is probably Heavy Rain or something like that, if it was out at the time, and put that in a 2K video to tell a story. He was always great at storytelling. And he got Modern Warfare videos. Mad people miss his Modern Warfare, Call of Duty commentaries and stuff like that. It don't make sense. If you gonna come at the dude, one, like I said, he minds his business. Two, acting like he don't got good content is actually crazy. This guy said, you know how lame of a nigga you gotta be to hate Chris Smoove? And he's responding to the same guy that I said made the video saying that Chris Smoove was only first. He said Chris Smoove was only first. And other than that, he's not good and he just played offline. Like, yeah, you got to be a lame ass nigga, bro. Even the Atlanta Hawks tweeted. The Atlanta Hawks saying, no way people hating on Chris Smoove. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm making this video. That's why I'm surprised I even got to make it. Because there ain't no way a nigga that mind his business, that don't talk about nobody at all whatsoever, is getting attacked online by a bunch of niggas that wish they had half the success that he has. That wish they have his success, bro. That wish they had the impact that he has, such as Low, the only credit that he gave him. Bro, don't ever disrespect Chris Smoove talking about he don't make no good content. I know Low didn't say he didn't make good content. He said he don't make it better than Jesser and Agent. But come on. Why? Like it's a subjective thing. It's a subjective thing. He's not talking about you. Leave his name out your mouth. You got to stop trying to put other people down, bro. The last tweet I'll read is Cash Nasty said, he basically said, y'all keep the awards and I'll take the rewards. Because let me tell you something. Chris Smoove has long gathered all of the rewards and he still has the community just supporting him overall. Because like I said, that ratio for the tweet, 54,000 likes to 4,000, it's not even close, bro. And that's what I mean. People want to get the success that he has. And you get attention when you talk shit about one of the greatest content creators of all time. Please watch your mouth. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. This is J Athletic Gaming, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.